Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today is a new one for me personally, so I hope you guys will enjoy this video. I don't know what I'm doing, so bear with me please. 2024 is over and done. We're now in 2025, and I thought it would be fun to just share a list of every single movie that I watched this year. So I have a very special interest in writing down every single movie that I watch for fun, just to see how many movies I watched in the year. I also do it with TV shows, but I don't watch TV shows all that often, which I kind of want to fix, but I do have to be in a specific mood to watch TV. So let me show you guys how I keep track of my movies, because I kind of think it's a little bit interesting to me anyways. I keep track of it on my phone, and I do use Sheets. Sheets is like my best friend in this. Yeah, I created it. I don't know if you want me to share it with you. I don't know how that works, but just let me know. So the template changes from depending on what it is. So if it's like a movie, it's different just a little bit from shows. So for movies, I put the year that it was created, the movie itself, like the title, the genre, the day I started it and finished it, because sometimes I start movies one day and then finish them another. And then I have a rating out of 10, the length of the movie, and where I watched it at. So my mom and I love to go to the movies. Love to go to the movies. I thought that was kind of fun, like to see what movies I watched in theaters and which ones I didn't. And for TV, it's similar, like I said. So it's year, name of the show, genre, how many seasons, date started, date finished, rating, and yeah, that is what that is for shows. So I'll just get shows out of the way and like we can get like right into it. Okay, let me move over. So I only watched one show this year, which sounds about right, honestly. And that show was High School Musical, the musical, the series. I watched like up until season 3, and then I didn't watch season 4. The show came out like around 2019 to 2023. It's a comedy dramedy musical. That's what Google says. There's 4 seasons, and I don't remember the day that I started it, but the day that I finished it was August 20th, 2024. And I rated it at 8. This video won't be a spoiler video because I don't know. I feel like more people can watch it, more people can enjoy it. Yeah, I liked season 4. It was one of the best, definitely. And I mainly watched it because Olivia Rodrigo was in it, but still, even when she like left the show, which is, it's not really a spoiler, yeah. And the ending was, it was good. I liked it. In total, I have watched 26 movies. So the first movie is Anyone But You, and it came out in 2023. It's a comedy romance, if you will, and I started it January 1st and finished it January 1st, 2024, and I rated it a 6.5. It's 1 hour and 43 minutes, and I watched it at the movies in theaters with my mom. Anyone But You, I like that movie. I rated it a 6.5. Yeah, a 6.5. It was a rom-com comedy. It had Sydney Sweeney and what's his face? Glenn Powell. Oh my god. Brain fart so hard right now. I just thought like it was like the perfect like take it for what it is movie. Like if you're like diving into like the meaning and like, you know, the little plot holes or like stuff like that, I don't think you're gonna enjoy it. So if you're just going in for a rom-com, I think it's a great movie. So that's why I rated it like a 6.5, because you know, I liked it. Yeah, I feel like a 6.5 is a good rating. That's almost a 7, and that's almost a 10. Okay, next we have Mean Girls. That came out in 2024. It's a comedy musical, and I started it January 14th, 2023, and finished the same day, and I rated that an 8. It's an hour and 52 minutes, and I seen it at the movies. So I feel like a lot of people could agree that when they went to see this in theaters, that they did not know that it was a musical. I don't remember. Did I know it was a musical? I don't think I knew it was a musical. So that means they were singing constantly. I don't know what it was about it, but it was just, I liked it. Like the songs were good. It's based off of the Broadway musical. I feel like a lot of people had problems with Katie, with her singing. But again, it's like one of those movies you have to like take with a grain of salt, or take what it is for what it is, face value, because I liked it. Renee Rapp was Regina George, and oh my god, that was like one of the main selling points for me, because like earlier in the year she had like her like, I don't know, I feel like she had a little pop-off moment, and I love her voice. I actually had to go down like a rabbit hole of like, you know, slime tutorials, if you know what I mean, for Mean Girls, and oh my god, her in it was like so amazing. So I'm glad she got to like reprise that role. Next we have The Beekeeper. That came out in 2024. It's an action thriller. I watched it, started it at on January 28th, finished January 28th. I rated it an 8 as well. It's an hour and 45 minutes, and I saw it at the movies. So my mom wanted to see this movie because The Taking, not The Taking, Jason Statham, that guy. It was good. I liked it. It's just like, you know, another like good like action film with like fighting, and like the concept was interesting. I like the concept. It was like, I haven't really seen something like that before, and it's Jason Statham, so yeah, that's I don't really have anything else to say about that. It was good. Next we have Argyle from 2024, and it's an action thriller as well. I started it February 11th and finished the same day. I rated it at 6.5, and it's 2 hours and 19 minutes, and I watched it in the movies. I'm actually gonna look up this movie because I kind of forgot. It's like about hold on. Okay, I think I just like my brain just got electrocuted and I remember. So basically the gist is this girl creates a book and the events in the book like come to term, like happened in real life, and then these people like find her and like try to kill her. Basically that's the whole premise, and I liked it. It was a fun little cookie movie, and she has a cat, which is like really cute. Dua Lipa was in it for like a few. Same with like Henry Cavill. John Cena was in it. Samuel L. Jackson's also in it. Yeah, I liked it. It was a fun movie. Like it's like, you know, one of those like go for the funnies. Go for the funnies is what I would say. Next we have Miller's Girl. That came out in 2024 as well. It's a thriller comedy. I don't know about that. I watched it February 17th and finished it the same day. I rated it a 5. It's an hour and 33 minutes and I watched it at home. So this movie, I watched it purely because of Jenna Ortega. She's like my icon, if you will. But Miller's Girl, the controversy. Just because it's like a teacher-student romance drama, I would say. Yeah. It has an interesting ending. It has Jenna Ortega and Morgan Freeman, I think is his name. I mean, I don't know if you can tell why I rated it a 5. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Oh my god, my friend's calling me. Hold.
Help.
What?
How do I update my phone? Hold on, I'm gonna screen share because it's confusing.
Okay, we're back. Okay, where were we? Miller's Girl, I think. And if you like Jenna Ortega, you can watch it if you want. But the character is really interesting that Jenna Ortega plays, so if you want to just take a gander, then I don't see why not. Next, we have the movie X that came out in 2022, and it's a horror mystery. It came out February 17th, and I finished it on the same day as well, and I gave it an 8.5. It's an hour and 45 minutes, and I watched it at home. Jenna Ortega, like I said. I watched it because of her and stayed for the plot, if you will. Mia Goth as Maxine. Maxine is her name. But Ty West is movie like he edited and directed it, I think that's what he did, but he's like no he didn't. I think he written and edited it and maybe directed it, maybe all the things. But I love X, bro. It's like one of my favorite like trilogy movies because it was just so good. It was different. The cinematography was everything, especially like Maxine, the most recent one. I mean, yes, mommy. Anyway, X, great movie, great direction. I think it started as a feature film, if I'm not mistaken. If you want a new like horror movie to watch, don't watch it with your parents and you'll be all set. The 8th movie on my list is Sing 2 that came out in 2021, and it's a comedy musical. I watched it February 3rd and finished it February 3rd. I gave it a 7.5, and it's an hour and 50 minutes, and I watched it at home. I think it's a good movie. It's like I like the music is really like awesome, and the actors that they pull for like the Sing movies are like really good. I think they're working on Sing 3, a fun animated movie, if you will. And if you like singing, it is a musical. It is, if you like haven't like caught on yet, Sing is a musical. I think you guys, you know what Sing 2 is. I don't need to explain any further on that. Speaking of X, Pearl is on this list. Came out in 2022. It's horror drama, obviously. I watched it on February 23rd, finished it to 24th the next day, and I gave it an 8. And it's an hour an hour and 42 minutes, and I watched it at home. Again, I feel like I've raved on about the X series, so I just feel like you just have to watch it for yourself. Yeah, I feel like if I say anything about Pearl, it'll kind of spoil X if you don't see it coming, basically. Next movie is Madam Web. 2024, came out in 2024. Action thriller. Watched it March 17th. Finished it March 17th. Rated it a 4 and is an hour and 54 minutes, and I watched it in the movies. It wasn't that good. Oh, I'm getting chills. I had like Dakota Johnson, Sydney Sweeney was in it. It wasn't good. The plot was the production of it too wasn't really that great. Like sometimes you can like see that it's dubbed, like the movie itself is dubbed even though it's in English. Like the actor was talking, but it didn't match up with his voice, like the voice, you know, the voices, if you will. Some of the script was not, it was cringe. Like I have a pretty open mind with movies, so this one just really surprised me with how bad it was. I think that's my lowest rated movie on this list, which is a 4. I wouldn't recommend, but if you want like a hee laugh haha moment, then I would suggest Madam Web. Okay, this next movie, I went to theaters to see it with my mother, and it was like one of those mystery movies that like we got to see it before it came out, and that movie was Sting. Came out 2024. It's a horror mystery. We watched it March 25th and finished it March 25th. I gave it a 6, and it was an hour and 31 minutes. You pay like $5 or something, and it's like a horror thing. I don't know. AMC has it, so if you're like interested, I think you should look it up. Okay, so here's a little synopsis. It says Charlotte is a rebellious 12-year-old girl who finds a tiny spider in her rundown apartment building. She keeps it in a jar, but it soon starts to grow at a monstrous rate, oh my god, and develop an unsustainable appetite for blood. As her neighbors begin to disappear, Charlotte and her family find themselves in a desperate fight for their lives against a ravenous arachnid with a taste for human flesh. It wasn't bad at all. I enjoyed myself, actually. I don't know if it was a factor of going in blind, but maybe that was part of it. The next movie we have Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Came out in 2024, sci-fi adventure. Started on March 20th, finished the same day. I gave it a 5. It was an hour and 46 minutes, and I watched it at home. It was like one of those movies my mom wanted to watch, so I watched it with her. And I don't think I like watched the previous Godzilla movies enough to like speak on it. Honestly, I don't really have anything to say about Godzilla x Kong. Next we have The First Omen. Came out in 2024. Horror short? I don't know what that means. Watched April 21st and finished the same day. I also gave that a 5. Interesting. It's an hour and 57 and we watched at the movies. I think it's like a continuation from The Nun. Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. It was decent. Yeah, it was decent. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Okay, next movie, oh my god, is Challengers. Came out 2024. It's a sports romance movie. I watched it May 5th and finished it May 5th. I gave it an 8.5, which maybe I should like rate it higher, but this is in the moment rating, I guess. This movie is 2 hours and 11 minutes, and I watched it at the movies with my mom. And can we talk about the actors? We have obviously Zendaya, we have Mike Faist and Josh O'Connor as our main 3 love interests. Yeah, I said 3. If you haven't watched Challengers, you gotta go watch it. And like, yeah, it was because Zendaya was in it, but yeah, what can you do, right? What can you do? Can't for Zendaya stayed for the plot. The plot was thick. It was tea. The editing, oh my god, the editing, the music, the acting, like it was just so good. 8.5. I should just give it a 9. It's kind of like a Wattpad story, if you will. Like that's kind of what it's giving, like in the best way possible. It's just giving. It's about tennis. Oh, I didn't say that. It's about tennis. It's about tennis. That's all I got. That was just me fangirling for probably like 1 minute, 2 minutes. I just go watch Challengers. Next we have Princess Mononoke. This came out in 1997 and it's an adventure action. I watched it May 15th, finished it the same day, gave it an 8. It's 2.5 hours and 14 minutes, and I watched it at home. And I started this thing where I was gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna watch every single Ghibli movie. I started with Princess Mononoke, and it was good. I liked it. I don't remember too much about it, to be honest, but yeah. Next we have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. That came out in 2024. It's an action sci-fi. I watched it June 2nd and finished it the same day. I gave it a 7. It's 2.5 hours, not 2.5, 2 hours and 25 minutes, and we watched it at the movies. My mom wanted to see it, so I watched it with her. I fondly remember watching like I think 1 or 2 Planet of the Apes movies, but nothing like hardcore fan behavior, you know? Like I haven't, well, you don't have to be a hardcore fan to watch Planet of the Apes, you know what I mean? It was good. I liked it. Next we have another request by another. It was Bad Boys Ride or Die. It came out 2024. It's an action comedy. We watched it June 9th, finished it June 9th. I rated it an 8. It's an hour and 55 minutes and we watched it at the movies and it was fun. I have recollection of watching the movies, but I don't remember what happened, so my mom kind of had to fill me in like after and like before and stuff. I liked it. I like the it was just funny. It's like a good laugh. Obviously it has Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in it. It's like a classic duo. Another one of those action laugh like movies where you just like enjoy yourself. Next was Inside Out 2. Came out 2024, family comedy, and we watched it June 17th, finished it the same day. I rated it a 7.5. It was an hour and 36 minutes and we watched it at the movies. If you've seen Inside Out 1 as like a kid, you have to see Inside Out 2 because it feels like it was made for us. I feel like it did well with portraying anxiety and all the other emotions too. Like we have a new set of emotions in Riley's mind. Next we have A Quiet Place Day 1 that came out in 2022. It's horror sci-fi. We watched it June 30th, finished it the same day. I rated it a 7. It's an hour and 36 minutes and my mom and I watched it at the movies. I do think I watched the first and the second one, but I feel like I have the memory of Goldfish. I don't remember much of it, but it didn't really matter for this one anyway because it's like a prequel and following a different POV, so that was exciting. I liked the directing of A Quiet Place Day 1 because it gave like a vibe, a certain vibe. I highly recommend. It's good. It's good. I liked it. Next we have Maxine. It came out in 2024 and it's a horror suspense. We watched it July 14th, finished it the same day. I gave it a 6.5. It's an hour and 44 minutes and we watched it at the movies. I don't know, I can't speak about it too much because then I feel like that'll spoil the first 2 movies a little bit. So I won't say too much about Maxine, but that's the last in the trilogy. Next on this list is Deadpool and Wolverine. Came out 2024, action comedy. Watched August 3rd, finished August 3rd. I rated it an 8.5. It's 2 hours long and 17 minutes. And we watched it at the movies. I feel like this was fan service for Marvel fans to come together because apparently the Marvel movies have not been hitting. It was funny as heck. I was like giggling, not kicking my feet, not like that. I was like giggling and like, you know, enjoying the ride. If you're not a Marvel fan, then you probably won't pick up on like references, like a little bit. You can get like the dirty jokes and stuff because it's like Deadpool. Oh my god, my camera stopped on me. We have warming though, so I might stop to take a break. Can you guys see the steam? Can you guys see the steam? I don't think you guys can. Oh my god, dog pool. One of the highlights of the movie for sure. The plot was mid. The plot was okay. It's one of those like, you know, multiverse type things. We're back, baby. We're on to our last 5 movies. We have The Trap that came out in 2024. It's a horror mystery. We watched it August 7th, finished it the same day. I rated it a 5. It's an hour and 45 minutes and my mom and I went to see it at the movies. It was an interesting concept. The premise is like, you know, there's a serial killer and he goes to like this concert with his daughter and he has to like escape the police because they're like looking for him. It's interesting, but it kind of lacks stuff. You're literally at the concert for like most of the movie, and I think the writer or like the director's daughter's in it and she sings, so there's just a lot of that, like basically showcasing her singing, which she's good, but like the whole movie's basically at the concert. I don't know. It's alright, you know. Yeah. Next we have Venom: The Last Dance, which came out 2024. It's action sci-fi. We watched it November 11th and finished it November 11th. I also rated it a 5. It was an hour and 4 minutes, and we watched it at the movies. It was okay. I feel like there wasn't really a plot. Like the plot was just like, it was like this the whole time. It didn't really feel like it had a climax or like, you know, a low point. The only like relief was like the humor. Basically humor can carry a whole movie. I mean kind of like Deadpool can, but like that's different, you know. I didn't really feel, I felt bored. I think is what it is, and some things were just left unresolved and it's just like, okay. Next we have Terrifier that came out in 2016. It's horror slasher. Watched it November 28th, finished it the same day. Gave it a 6. It's an hour and 32 minutes and I watched it at home. So here's a funny story. Like the Terrifier 3 came out in theaters and I kind of wanted to see it, but I had not watched the other ones at that point, so I'm like, I can't do that. So I watched the first one and it was really interesting. It's a unique concept and the director, I feel like, did a good job at like portraying something new, and like the writers and stuff like that, because I have not watched anything like that. It's basically about this like killer clown. It's like hard to explain, but like it's super gory. Like it's nuts, my guy. Like, ew, why did I say that? It's super gory. There's a 4th one coming out and like the storyline is kind of like, you know, like you gotta like wait for it. But yeah, that's Terrifier. So next is Terrifier 2 and 3, which I kind of briefly talked about. Terrifier 2 came out 2022. Terrifier 3 came out 2024. I watched Terrifier 1 on the 28th and finished on the same day. I watched Terrifier 3 on the 31st. Because that's like a Christmas movie. Like the 3rd one is like kind of like, it's a weird thing we got going on. Terrifier 2, I rated it 6.5, and Terrifier 3 rated it 6. Terrifier 2 hours and 18 minutes, while Terrifier 3 was 2 hours and 5 minutes. And I watched all of them at home. Yeah, and they were. It was an experience. If you have a weak stomach, I would not recommend watching that because you will. I don't think you'll be able to last. So yeah. Those are all my 26 movies, I think, in one show. I hope this inspired you guys to, like, I don't know, keep track of your movies in some way. I hope to see you guys on the channel again, and I'll see you later. Bye.